So I want to get down what it really means to have severely low self-esteem, because that's just a word to people. People don't understand really what that means, to have low self-esteem. I guess they can imagine it as, and it's kind of true, it's a lack of confidence, a severe lack of confidence in your ability, in your mind, to live and function as a normal human being in society. So therefore, if you've got really low self-esteem, you will attract negative tension subconsciously, in order to feed the ego, to feed this massive ego which you have. And the degree to which you attract negative attention, aka 24/7, or is it just in conversation, or is it even less than conversation but just slightly there? But whichever degree you attract your negative tension is an indicator of how much self-esteem you've lost, which is also an indicator of how big your ego is. So someone with severely loss of self-esteem will attract negative attention 24/7 when they're out in public. If it's really bad, like it used to be with me, it wasn't just 24/7, it was inside my own head by myself, so I couldn't be comfortable at all in my own skin with my own thoughts, with my own good feelings and all these kind of things, because I had no good feelings. So it was really bad. So imagine that meant a massive ego as a result of severely loss of self-esteem. And that massive ego needs feeding with lots of negative attention. Wherever you go, you're giving off these signals unconsciously, and you're kind of wishing, oh, I wish I wasn't like this. I wish there's a part of you that wishes you weren't damaged and you did have the self-esteem and all that stuff, that thinks, oh, I wish I didn't have negative attention. But also there's another part of you well built up with this massive ego that needs feeding, and that ego that's built up, that's literally caused you to survive. Your massive ego has enabled you to survive, and instead of thrive really. So you're surviving, not thriving, but at least you're alive. So well done to ego for that. But it's attracting all this negative attention, which you kind of do feel good in the moment. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a weird, nasty ego hit when you get negative attention, when your ego's so big and it gets fed. Whenever the ego gets fed, it kind of feels good. It's not a proper, nice, good feeling of being present in the moment at all. It's the opposite. It's a nasty ego high. Like say when you just got validation from sex, and it's not really about the sex, it's or the enjoyment for yourself. It's more about the haha, look at me, I've just got laid and I can show off to my friends. That kind of it's like that, but 10 times worse. This kind of ego high from the low self-esteem. Anyway, I kind of wanted to talk about a really shocking aspect of the self-esteem. There is, for more information, I would definitely recommend you guys check out Ty Durden's an excellent video about it on rising out of prison depression, which is great. It tells you about how depression is very much unique, being a hard case newbie, being severely depressed, being severely low self-esteem, all these kind of things. It's unique, and many people can't relate to this, can't relate to low self-esteem, can't relate to attracting negative attention, because they never. It's like, and in his video he talks about it, it's like being severely ill. Imagine a day when you're severely ill, you can't do nothing, but it's just who you are. And there's some people that just can't understand, which is fair enough. Again, kind of going off track. There is this video if you want to talk about self-esteem. What I want to talk about with me is on some bad days, or some days when I've had really bad low sleep, and then like today I had low sleep the day before yesterday, but I did lots of presence training, so it was alright. But last night I had low sleep without any presence training, and I was on tills today, and I didn't get my break till the very end, so I was getting stressed. What happens is, on days like that, is I come home and it takes me half an hour for all the toxic stress chemicals to move out of my body. I'm not even aware a lot of times that there's that much stress going on. I know there's something crazy going on in my brain. I can't concentrate, can't think. But it takes half an hour, normally, of being back home, and then this really weird thing happens. So I can literally feel my stress chemicals like disappearing, like kind of like when you're sweating, and you can feel the water coming off the skin, exiting your body. So that with the stress, I can feel the stress like relieving itself in my body, and my thoughts are just changing from survival bullshit, survival, ego, all me, negative tension, me, to just normal. Day to day, I can relax because I'm in my home, no one's watching me, I'm free to think my own thoughts and do my own things. And that's happened actually. To be honest, it hasn't happened today. I predict it will. It's a subtler now that I've healed myself, but I still have moments. I do remember when I was in Central America, the stress of moving out from a hostel. I was eating bad, I wasn't exercising, I wasn't sleeping properly, I wasn't meditating, I was in a hostel, I wasn't doing the things I was supposed to be doing, and then that day I decided to leave because my mind was fucked. and I went to find another hostel where I could be by myself and just relax, and then do the things I was meant to do. And as I got into that hostel, after wandering around trying to find it, I remember the feeling. It took half an hour, but then the feelings just like disappeared from my body completely. I could feel the stress there and then just disappear. Not like magic, but you can, like I said to you, it's like it's leaving your skin like the water evaporating. It's like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And that's an indicator. That's your RES trying to tell you, holy shit, you've been way too stressed. Look, I'm de-stressing you. That's happened in India as well. Another one of those moments. It's probably one of the worst aspects of having low self-esteem is when you have those days when it's just, you're in survival, you're feeling shit, you lack of sleep, you didn't meditate properly, whatever it is, you haven't taken care of yourself, or even if you have, then it's just one of those days, and it's horrible. It's truly horrible. Let me emphasize again, having low self-esteem sucks. But on the positive, if it's really, really, really bad low self-esteem, and it's so incomparable and it's so different to other people, there is a hope for you. There's hope that you have the motivation now to change, and it might take many, many, many years, but you'll always have that motivation until you become normal. Because normal will be so hard when you have low self-esteem. It'll be truly, truly shocking how much work and dedication and effort and years and decades it's going to take to fix this thing. I'm not even exaggerating. But because it's taken such a long time to fix, if you ever get to a stage where you are normal, you'll feel amazing because you've put in so much work. You've dedicated your entire life to fixing yourself, and you've done it. And the degree to which it takes to fix yourself, the degree to which it takes for you to become normal is the degree to which you've lost your self-esteem. And that's another indicator. And for me, I'm 5 years in, and I'm still got a long way to go. I'm quite happy that I created a life where, in the comfort of my own home, I'm free to think I'm not just free, I've changed my thoughts radically from depressive, negative, why me, to God thoughts. Why me, why me, why me, which led to a cycle of negativity which I couldn't get out of. I had no positive thoughts going in I had no positive bone in my body. I didn't know what state was. I didn't have positive thought in my body. And look at this, 5 years now, 5 years from now, today, I have an ability to make myself in state just from being by myself, from meditating, from being in my home, from reading books, from learning about the world at work when I'm in a good mood. All these kind of things I've built up. I've had to destroy old rubbish thoughts. I've had to create positive thoughts. I've had to create positive thinking. I've had to see the world as it is. I've had to learn about the world. That's a huge one. I've had to learn about the world, much like an Asperger's kid doesn't get, an autistic kid doesn't get the social interaction thing, doesn't get the world, doesn't get other people. I'm very like a psychopath as well, doesn't really understand fully emotions. It has to learn and copy and mimic. I'm very much the same. I've had to learn, copy, mimic, fake it, I guess, until I made it. And then maybe still haven't made it in a lot of aspects, but I'm still kind of learning about the world. So you think about that. Think about all the things I've had to overcome. I've had to change my thoughts completely. I've changed my belief systems. I've changed my values. I've had to come from a depressed person to a positive person. I've had to turn in from a person that takes no action, sitting in his room doing fuck all. Screw the pun. We're literally no hope. No chance of getting a girlfriend. No jobs. Just negative 10 to 20%. I've had to transform from that to someone who feels like they can get girls, who's had to transform in that aspect, who feels like they can have jobs, feels like they can learn from other people, feels like that the world is a good place and not a nasty place. There is a billion things going on in my mind right now of things I've had to overcome and to change, to radically transform, to be in this position from even 5-6 years ago when I was on my darkest times. But if you look to the future and optimism, I'll always have, I'm always growing, I'm always learning, so I will always have to keep going. Yeah. I think that's all I wanted to get in this video. Just self-esteem really, really is one of the longest, hardest, most rewarding, hopefully come the end, journeys you'll ever have. And it'll always be something that I'll have in to teach others and to learn. I think it'll be my future, my career, and I wish to pass on that knowledge.